Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello, my dear students, and welcome to our science class. What do you see in this picture? Yes, these are different kinds of animals. And in this picture, you can see different kinds of plants. And as you know, animals and plants are living things. All living things have life cycles, right? So what is a life cycle? A life cycle is the series of changes that a living thing goes through during its lifetime. Different living things have different life cycles. It only makes sense, right? Now let's start with plants. Scientists classified plants into two groups. We have flowering plants. They produce flowers, they make flowers. And we have non-flowering plants or conifers. They make cones. They don't make flowers, they make cones. The reproductive part of a flowering plant is the flower. The reproductive part of a conifer is the cone. There is two kinds of cones. We have male cones and female cones, and we're gonna study this later. Now, flowering plants and non-flowering plants begin their lives with seeds. They begin their life with seeds. So a seed is the first stage of most plants. It's the first stage of most plants, and it's definitely the first stage of flowering and non-flowering plants. Now, let's start with flowering plants and take an apple tree for an example. As you can see, this is the seed, and this is the first stage of a flowering plant life cycle. And you can find the seed inside the fruit. You can find the seed inside the fruit. Now, if you plant this seed into the soil with the proper conditions, it will grow into a seedling. Seedling. Then it will grow into a sapling or a young plant. Then it will become an adult tree, blossom, and fruit. So these are the main stages of a flowering plant life cycle: seed, seedling, sapling, adult tree, blossom or flowers, then or finally fruit. And you can find the seed inside the fruit. Now look at this picture here. Did you see the bee? Look at the flower. It developed into a fruit, right? Now let's explain what just happened here. Now, inside the flower here, inside the flower, can you see the white dots that's flying around? This is the pollen. This is the pollen. A pollen is a powdery material found inside flowers. It's a powdery material found inside flowers. Now this pollen must move from the male part of a flower to the female part of the flower. Pollen must move from the male part of a flower to the female part of a flower to form seeds. Now look at this picture here. The bee transfers the pollen from the male part to the female part in the flower. insects, wind, other animals can move pollen. Again, when a seed is planted in the soil, it will sprout and develop into a seedling. So we're going to start with the seed. It will sprout, seedling, sapling, young tree. The young tree will grow into adult tree. Young tree will grow into adult tree. The adult tree will produce flowers, and when the pollen move from male part to female part in the flower, it will develop to form seeds. Seeds inside the fruit, inside fruits. Okay. Now, non-flowering plants or conifers. Conifers. What is a conifer? A conifer is a plant that makes seeds inside cones. Now, pine trees are conifers. Pine trees are conifers. They produce cones. They produce cones. So the reproductive part on conifers is the cone. And there is two types of cones, as we said before, female cone and male cones. Now, the life cycle of a conifer starts with the seed. It starts with the seed. With the proper condition, it will grow into a seedling. It will grow into a seedling, then a sapling or a young tree. Then it will become an adult tree with female and male cones. Female and male cones. Now, pollen will move from male cone to female cones. From male cones to female cones. Look at this picture. This is a male cone and this is a female cone. Now, the pollen will move or will fall onto a female cone by the wind. And seeds will be formed. Seeds will be formed. Again, we're going to start with the seed, seedling, sapling, adult tree with male and female cones. Pollen from the male cone falls onto the female cone by the wind. Then seeds will grow inside the female cone.